Hello FlossTube, my name is Tamara and welcome to my channel. In today's video is going to be the second part of the stitched Just Nan, which I have all the stitched Just Nan I have done so far. And I hope you will enjoy this video with the rest of my stitched designs. And it's time to see the winter Halloween designs by Just Nan. I don't have very many, by the way. Why do I say by the way? Because I am a person who says that loves very much autumn and Halloween stitching, and it's a wonder that I don't have very many. Okay, let's see what I have. First of all, I have 3 cubes like this. I mean this form, and these are all the cubes of this form which Nan can have in winter and Halloween. There is one more pink one which I have in my stash, but I haven't stitched yet, so I have to stitch that one, and so far I'll have all the cubes of this form. I love this form of the cubes very much, by the way. It's one of my favorite. So this is Owls of October, and it's supposed to be the Owls of October, the original ones, the ones which were published like many years ago, and they became an out of print thing. So I liked them so much that I decided that I'm going to stitch them from scratch, and it was like October. Don't remember which year, honestly. I think 21. When I decided that I'm going to stitch this one from scratch. The fabric I used here is much larger than the original one, because the original one should be a 32nd count Belfast. It's a rust color, if I'm not wrong, which is out of print again, the fabric. That's why I used the 27th count even with tangerine is the color, if I'm not wrong, because I wanted something like very, how do I say, bright. And I started stitching it that October, the beginning of October, and like when I was stitching it, it came the news that Just Nan is releasing the Owls of October 2, this one. And I ordered it, and until this one came, I stitched this one. And when this one came, I stitched this one after it. So the same October, I stitched like the old version and the new version. That October, it was for sure an October full of owls. For this one, I kept the, because the owls, they come the same in both of them. So I stitched it as it was. I remember though that here it was an hand-dyed silk. I don't remember what I used here, but I see that I have a hand-dyed silk here. I don't have any idea what I use. What else? The embellishment pack, this one, it's from Susan Clark's Originals, and it looks like the original one, but the original one had a thing to be attached, and I attached this one with wildlife thread, so it doesn't have the thing, the ring, little ring to attach it with. And I also needed white striped beads, white with black stripes. Couldn't find that one at the time. I just used the black beads. I like how it looks, so I don't regret making this change. And for me, this one is mostly, I would say, Halloween, you see. But this one, the new one, which more people like stitched, this one is more like autumn, because if you would look at the owls themselves, who do we have here? Screech, you see. So the owls themselves, they are the same. But here each owl has on the tummy has a Halloween thing, but here we have just a print, kind of print, because here Screech has a spider, and they also here on the sides, you see here there are ghosts, but here there are leaves, autumn leaves, you see. Then it comes Olivia. Here Olivia has a black cat, here doesn't have like anything. Then it's Swoops, you see, has bats, it doesn't have anything. And then Sage has a pumpkin here. And here it says Owls of October. Here is just a little spider. And on the top also, you see, it's like that. Nice. And the pins, except this one is an original Just Nan pin. The rest of them I made by myself. So this one I made. What else? This one was made by me. I said that there was a moment in my life where I was crazy about these pins, and it was the moment when the original pins, they already went out of print, and it was pretty much impossible to buy them. And on eBay they started being sold for $75 a pin. And when you know that originally they cost like $10, and they are asking this one, this thing I bought from Susan Clarkson, you see, like it's supposed to be a dangle. And when you know, like paying 75, this is 7 times more, I said that no, not my story. That's why I started like making them. And one more cube also of this form with a mouse. It's supposed to have a mouse. This one was stitched last Halloween. This one also is an out of print. I remember like looking for it, couldn't find, and when I just was, somebody shared the chart with me, I was super duper happy. And this one is stitched on fabric. It's Peoria Purple by Wigs That Works, if I'm not wrong, which is not out of print, so you can buy it, you can still have it. The only thing, the bat, which is here, it's Tierra cast, so it's like the original one. And I needed also tiny spider, and this one already, I looked a lot to find it because I couldn't find original one, but I'm glad of what I found. This is how it looks like. And this one is supposed to have a mouse, pumpkin mouse, in the at the Frightmare house, if I'm not wrong. This is how it's called. This one, this is the mouse with a ghost sequin. This is how I made it, because this one is, everything is out of scratch. I mean, like how I could get the materials. Then also from last Halloween I stitched the newly released house by Just Nan, Alvira's house. You could see this on my channel. Now I'm looking at this roof, and I am realizing that yes, the roof I made for my last house, it's much better. So yes, it needs time and practice and it's going to be okay. Yeah, you can see like in detail on my channel I showed like the stitch of this one. And Alvira the owl. It's one of a kind, because this form, owls of this form I don't have. I have another kind of owls, but this one is a first. Yeah. And the other kind of owl is this kind of owl. There is one more, also autumn one, and there are two. There are 3 owls, generally speaking. 2, they are autumn owls, and one is winter princess. So I have the other 2 as well. I hope that I'm going to do them one day. This is how they look. And I have 2 humbugs. They come because when you are making the humbugs, you have to be careful, because these ones are not sitting humbugs. You see, these are the ones which you have to hang. So this is with owls. Very nice. The only thing, they are small. I stitched them according to the key. They are 32nd count linen, but nevertheless, I think that they are small. But everything was in the embellishment pack, what you see, and I hang them usually on. And this is jack-o'-lantern. Don't remember how this one is called, honestly, but it's small, cute and small. And besides this, I have a cube and Halloween cube, and I have a mouse, a witch mouse. So this cube actually is the first stitched design by Just Nan in my life. It was 2018, if I'm not wrong, when I stitched and I finished it. I'm not happy of how it looks finished. It's not super duper ugly, but it's not how would I make it today. But nevertheless, it's my first stitched and finished Just Nan. Yeah. And on the preview, I remember that this one was coming with, it was shown with this witch, and I decided to buy the witch. So I purchased like the witch and the cube, and I stitched, I finished them. I have to replace the whiskers, mustache, how they called whiskers probably, because it was the moment when I was like using I was using how it's called, clear nail polish to make them like look nice, and they are not looking very nice now. Okay, and one more thing which is not Just Nan, it's just I use Just Nan elements to stitch it. This is a Fair Work Designs kind of thing. And here on this one, I use the Just Nan element because I have a second one with ship. You see, and here also it's from one of Just Nan samplers, is one of the bands I attached here. So I'm not going to consider this one as Just Nan. I just wanted to show you that I also use Just Nan elements to stitch them and to finish them. So this would be the autumn Halloween designs. And the last lot I want to show you. This lot I usually call the spring summer lot, because these are the designs which I'm using for spring and summer. Okay, let me start with the pin cushions. I don't have a lot of the pin cushions here, strangely, but I have only 4. So I have such a pin cushion. This one is a chart, you know, like the little small charts, and the only embellishment you need here, it's a butterfly, this kind of butterfly. I remember that this one was being advised to be stitched on light linen white or cream, but I chose a darker one because the butterflies which are stitched here, they are kind of like lace. They were not seen very well, but in this case, you see, I think they look nicer. So this one, I made the frame, kind of repeated this frame, so that I would make this part also nice. And the finishing like this I made last year, I think, because they didn't have this and this one, and I was feeling like they needed something, and I finished it like that. So this would be one of the pin cushions. The second one, this is also the kind of chart, you know, when they just attach the embellishment, and that's it. So the beads you have to provide because they are mill heel beads. Quite rare, I would say, design which is stitched, quite rare. I like this one very much, and this is how the back look like. And I made kind of ballerina here, as I used to call this one. I didn't know what to do for it, and I chose such a variant for this one. Then a design which is sold even nowadays, and it's pretty popular in spring, before Easter usually, such a bunny. The only thing is that here I replaced the heart it used to have by SJ Designs heart, a pearl heart. And this is how I made the edges. This one is simple, I didn't like do anything here. The little bunny, and then I have this one, sunny summer happy garden, this one is called. And this one I remember that the is sold with the chart is sold with this pin, and I remember that everybody was like chasing the pin, not so much the chart. But I managed to find this one like later in the shop, later, because it was already a rare design, and I stitched it last summer, I think. Here I made a blackbird. This is how it looks like. I remember that initially the fabric which is recommended here is Morris blue linen, but I don't have that one in stash, but I had such job lane, and I decided to stitch it on job lane. And if I'm not wrong, I made the count larger, if I'm not wrong. So this is one more pin cushion I have. Then I have here the house which I stitched not a long time ago. Charming house of Lindy Mouse. This is Lindy Mouse with the key for her house, the 4 season house. And as a comparison, here is the other house when I told you that I made a very ugly roof. You see, this one is nicer. For sure it's nicer. Okay. Then I have such type of biscornues, 15-sided biscornues. And remember I showed you the Mary 15. Then I have this one, which I forgot how it's called. And for this one, I managed at the time to buy the 4 of the the pins which were on the preview. This is the only one I made with the frog. I remember that this one I didn't have and I made, and more or less this one is kind of... And I changed here the button in the middle. I used the Swarovski buttons because Mary 15 also has a burgundy one, because Mary 15 should have a button there. I couldn't find that button, and that's why I changed it for Swarovski, and then I decided that I'm going to change for Swarovski for the rest of them. So this is what I have. And also for this one, so from 2 of these squares I made a tiny biscornu, and this is a scissor fob. This is the tiniest biscornu I have ever had and made. Yes, it's even smaller than the tiny biscornu, the 4 ones which I have. This one. And from the same series, the latest which was released, it was 15 Tiny Gardens, and the one which should be original should look like that, the original one. It's on 32nd count, and it had this Swarovski beads, large beads, and also the beads also, which have to be put here. I remember buying it, I remember stitching it, and then I said, I just realized that this one is smaller. What a surprise, you would say. I have also such a pin, which is made from a dragonfly from Susan Clark's Originals. And I said, what a surprise. And I decided that I want to stitch it one more time on such, because if you are stitching it on the 28th count, so it has the size of Mary 15 and the other one. So they are a trio now. It would be great if we would have a autumn design. So I stitched it one more time, but on 28th count. So again, it comes in pink and white linens, and I used here, as you can see, I used already again how's it called, Swarovski buttons here. And as Mary 15 has its original pins, this one had four original pins, and the 5th I made it. I said, well, how come this one also needs pins? And what do you think? I made pins for these ones. So it has a hedgehog. It also has a mouse. Why I'm taking them out? Tell me, please. It has a bunny. You see, I made another bunny. Then it has a butterfly. So the bunny, the mouse, the butterfly, and the hedgehog, they are from Susan Clark's Originals, I mean, like. And the last one is a teddy, but I have also, how it's called? A turtle. And everybody told me that the turtle looks nicer, so here, than the bunny. And in such a way, I have two of this. One is smaller and it's exactly as it was according to the key, and one is larger. Also, I have two smaller humbugs. If I'm not wrong, this one, even now, it's sold on 1 to 3 stitch. I don't know for sure. And it has such a pin. Shown the preview comes with this pin, but the pin you have to buy separately. Then I have such garden mice. I don't remember how it's called. Cube also. Cube, not cube. Humbug, it's called. Then I have a roll, just one roll. As far as I know, Just Nan has 6 rolls. 4 of them come with the mice, and I have the chart on the mice. This one was stitched from scratch. This is Lady Scarlet's Garden. Here it is. And there is the peacock one. And that one I'm going to stitch from scratch as well, because at the time it was released, you know, and it was sold. I purchased it because I already started like being interested in Just Nan, but at the time I wasn't like stitching and finishing things like this, but I was very much into pins by Just Nan. And I just, as a happy lady I kept the pin. So this is the pin from the peacock roll. I kept the pin. And I sold the embellishment pack with the chart. And now I'll stitch it like from scratch, and I'm going to use the original pin I have. Okay, what else I have? I have such a peacock pin. Also, it's pretty rare, as far as I remember that one. Pretty rare. And I have tea with honey. Yes, a beauty of a design, really. It's the kind of like large, nice cube. This one was stitched from scratch, by the way, because at the time I became interested in it. It was already a rare find and it was expensive. It was like popping out somewhere. And I already stitched it. I refinished it last year, because when I stitched it and finished it, I couldn't do it like very, very nice with walls, and it was bulgy, and I didn't like it. That's why I said that I'm going to remake it. I was afraid, honestly, that I'm going to do something and I'm going to break it, or how they say, destroy it. But it was the design which I was ready to stitch one more time in order to have it nice, because it's DMC threads here, so everything is okay to find and stitch. But no, it was okay, and I refinished it one more time, and now I like the form. The pins, the famous pins, so originally it should have these 3 pins, like the cup of tea, the cupcake, and the teapot. So these ones are sold by Susan Clark's Originals. At the time I purchased the charms, I have the saucer, not the saucer, the milk jug, yes, this one. So I had the 3 of them purchased, and I made them into pins. And last year I managed to find a charm, a cupcake charm, and colored it and made a cupcake. So I have a cupcake now as well. I have 4 of them, but according to the key they should be 3. Okay, one more design I have. This is the garden star. Pretty nice design, I would say. At the moment I stitched it, honestly I couldn't see it anywhere, so nobody had it stitched. That's why I was a bit of kind of afraid of stitching it, but I managed. I have also the chart and the embellishment pack for the Halloween one, and I'm going to do that one as well. Pretty much work, I would say, so pretty much stitch into these ones, so you'll have to stitch a lot, you have to finish it, but it's beautiful. I like it very, very much. Nice one. And the pin, this one is made by me, and I really tried to make it as the original one, because on the preview again it's shown with this pin, but the pin you have to buy it by yourself. And the Halloween one, when it's going to be ready, it has a cat on top. So the cat is ready and is waiting for that star to come. Also, I have such a biscornu, this one. This one, just a sec. It was a limited edition for Silver Needle, if I'm not wrong, and I purchased it from Silver Needle. I remember this one, it was released, you know, when the COVID thing started, and it was the first lockdown, like it was worldwide lockdown. And I remember that usually from Silver Needle, the parcel usually comes in like 1 week, used to come, because I haven't ordered for a long time from them. I mean, like from USA to UK, London. This one traveled 2 months or almost 2 months. I was sure that this one was lost. They couldn't track it, you know, it was chaos everywhere. And finally it came. And when it came, I stitched it, like this one. I remember changing the, here in the middle it should be a heart, bead heart, but I changed it with Swarovski Margarita. And this one was just a bead, and you had to make it a pin from it. I made a pin from it. Initially it used to be silver, but it got dark. And I saw in the videos of at least 2 vloggers, how they showed that their bead bird also got dark. And also, you know what got dark? The bugle beads here, you see, they also got dark. I don't know why it happened. And like 2 years ago, I think, I purchased this, it's a candle stand, I think. It was from Tiki Maxx, and the first thing when I saw it, I said, okay, I'm going to make a, you see, one of them just fell from this one. I'm going to take out all of them. It's a good thing, because I don't like that they are so dark, and yeah, it went the one from here. I'm going to take out all of them, most probably. So when I saw this one, I said I'm going to make a pin cushion in it. And when I came home, I remember it was spring, I already had this one in display, and I just put this one here and said, look, this one goes perfectly. And I didn't make a special like pin cushion for this one, because this one you can take, you can like turn, so already has its use. Also, that's not everything. soon is going to be everything. I have the perpetual pentagon. Again, it's a design which I used to have. I sold it, and then I decided that I want this one to be stitched by me. I repurchased it and stitched it like a couple of years ago. I think I stitched this one. So I managed to find the chart with the embellishment back, and I managed to find the pins separately, and I purchased it. Then I have such a design, which is my pride and joy and love. This is the pearl leaf ball. Don't remember exactly how it's called. The thing is that you need a lot of work to do this one, and I am not exaggerating. Thing is that you have to stitch for each of this thing, you have to stitch 3 leaves. Then you have to cut them, then you have to put them together. After you put them together and you have this thing, fill them in, like do all the things, you have to put them again together. Yeah, it's great work, but the result is wow. I like it very much. It was stitched from scratch, because the buttons shouldn't be like this. They are Terra cast buttons, but the original ones I couldn't find, but nevertheless I did. And the pin which is here, the pin is sold separately usually. Is exactly, but I mean exactly like the original pin. I remember finding this tiny ladybird at Susan Clark's Originals. The golden one also, it's Terra cast, it's like the original one. And this one, just be careful, the big one, you see that there is such a big and there is a small one, so this one is tinier. And this one, usually it's somewhere here, because you see, if you look here, you see tiny ladybugs here, so you have to just thrust your pin somewhere here inside the thing. I also have such a design which is finished into a lid of a frame craft box. This one is stitched from scratch with the embellishment also purchased from Susan Clark's Originals. The bird should be smaller, I know that now, because the winter design, Winter Blues, it has the bird which has to be like really for this design, but at that time I didn't know, because I didn't have the Winter Blues, the design with the charm to check the size. I had this one, just stitched, attached it, and noticed that it's bigger, but it's okay. It's not something which spoils the design. I would say that this one is not bad. Still, I like it very much. And the latest stitched and finished design, this is Miss Kitty's pin cube. The most perfect cube I have ever finished so far. This is the one. This is how it looks like. It was just a wish of mine. This was probably the fastest cube I have ever stitched and finished. And this would be the last one. Yes, the last one. So finally, I showed you everything I have ever stitched by Just Nan in my life. I counted them. Yes, I counted them because out of curiosity, I wanted to know how many stitched designs I have. So the total of the stitched designs by Just Nan I have at the moment are 91. Yes, I don't have 100. 91. But the thing is that, for example, in such case, this one is sold as a design, one design. But in the design, there is the cube, there is the mouse. So I consider this two finished works because I worked for the mouse, I worked for this one. Because if you take like this mouse, it was sold separately, the chart, and it was like finishing it, you would consider that you finished the design. So it's unfair to that mouse, you see. So in this case, I consider that I finished two projects, let's say so. So 91 so far. Don't have even 100. I have to stitch 9 more to have 100. It's okay, I think, take into consideration that I stitch quite a lot of Just Nan. It's okay, take into consideration that I have a large stash, because a couple of years ago when I filmed and showed the stash, I had comments saying that why do you need so many when you are going to stitch it? You see, like in less than 6 years I stitched almost 100. So if I don't have 200 charts. I have more than 100. I think I have kind of 150. So for the next 6-9 years, I'm going to finish them all. Okay, I was just joking. I hope it was interesting for you. I hope you had patience to watch the whole video, and see you in my next videos. Until then, bye bye.